everybody, ladies, gentlemen, and dragons. Wayward Wizard here with another video. It's been a while since I did one of these, but today is a very special day. It's 365 days since I quit cannabis and THC, and I really embraced a journey of sobriety in that I don't drink alcohol or basically any psychoactive substances except coffee. Coffee and sugar, does that count? Um, but yeah, I really had a long journey with cannabis, and it was just time to pursue some clarity in my life, to reach some potential, to really strive for a bit more. Um, so yeah, it's been 1 year, and for this video, I have a brief outline, but I don't really have any notes or anything. So if I ramble, please forgive me. You know how I do it. So when I decided to quit, the motivation behind it, like I said, was just to pursue some clarity, emotional stability for one. I found that I was just like stuck. I felt stuck. I felt trapped and stuck. And over the years, I tried to quit off and on, but it was always in the back of my head. Like I felt like a slave to this substance where I used it for an escape, for lack of better words. I used it to hide, to escape the uncomfortable feelings. And yeah, that's what this year has been about, is just to come to terms with that, heal what needs to be healed. And I'm not there yet. I don't want to portray the ultimate kind of end game now, but it's ongoing for sure. But I learned a lot. So before quitting, I was smoking every day. I was up to an ounce a week, like at least $100 a week. I would, when I was smoking cigarettes as well, I would just chain smoke, fucking cigarette joint, just double tap. Like I wouldn't really have any moderation. Moderation didn't work. I couldn't just smoke one and be happy with that. I would need to have a pocket full of joints if I were to go somewhere. So it was a reliance in every aspect. Um, Negative effects on my life were I just sheltered myself. I hid from the world. I wasn't making any videos. I wasn't being creative. Even though it's weird because when you smoke weed, you feel creative, but you don't actually do anything. At least for me, anyway. Disclaimer: I have nothing against cannabis or marijuana. I just loved it too much, so I had to separate myself from it. But if you do it, power to you. I'm not judging or anything, but for me, it just became a matter of suppressed emotion. I didn't want to wake up one day and be like on my deathbed and have any regrets as far as being wanting to quit, or at least wanting to experience sobriety and pursuing maximum potential. I just didn't want that on my conscience. So that's what ultimately led me to quit. Um, yeah, I smoked for about 20 years. So once you smoked as much as I do, then there's really not much more you can do with it, other than quit and experience the natural highs of life and a journey without having to walk around with a pocket full of joints everywhere. And it is what it is. So yeah, that was my decision to quit. I guess I already touched on that. Pivotal moment was basically just every time I would smoke a joint right before I quit, I would experience anxiety, um, racing thoughts, unstable emotions, and it was just guilt. I think that's what it was. I think that's the underlying emotion, was just guilt. I knew I could do better. I knew I wasn't doing better. I wasn't measuring up to where I wanted to be. Um, so yeah, that was a big turning point when I just couldn't formulate my thoughts into words properly, and it was frustrating as fuck. And all I wanted to do was just smoke it away, hide from it, and Like I was 38 at the time. I'm 39 now, so I'm not getting any younger. And one day it's going to be just too late. So that's that. The um, first few months weren't that bad, honestly. Once you make the decision to quit, the withdrawal becomes a matter of mentality. Honestly, it's not what you're giving up; it's what you're gaining. And once you really concretely decide that enough is enough, you have your reasons. Like when I first quit, I had a column for reasons to quit, a column for reasons to keep smoking, and the reasons to quit just like even looking at it, the list was just not like it was just disproportionate. Um, so it kind of made the withdrawal bearable, and it was just sleep. Like cannabis will rewire your brain circuitry, and it's just the sleep and the sweats and um, the mood swings come from lack of sleep. And if you can, the first few months are just adjusting to the physiological effects, and they're there. I mean, they're there. It is an addiction. I accept that. There'll probably be people out there to deny that it's addictive or whatever, but try to fucking stop. Try to stop it and see what happens. So your reasons to quit need to be strong. Your you just need your why. Honestly, that's what's going to get you through the first months. And I have a playlist on here, THC free, 2023 plus, which documents the first 4 weeks of my quitting of my sobriety journey. I won't call it quitting. Um, Trying to embrace positivity, positive words. So strategies of coping. Yeah, like I said, just drink a lot of water. Just be patient with yourself. You're not going to sleep very well, and just really dive into your days, dive into your work, dive into just jotting down ideas for what you want to do for hobbies, and the filling your time is basically going to be the main goal. The time I spent smoking was substantial, so filling in that time with healthy habits and healthy hobbies was key. One fucking year, right on. Personal growth, um, changes in myself, improvements in mental clarity, motivation, and overall well-being. Well, I think that it's natural. It's going to come naturally that you're going to feel better, do better, and um, just the mental clarity. Honestly, yeah, that's um, I gotta be careful here because as that was the main goal is mental clarity, but in that clarity comes the realization of all the shit you've been suppressing for so long. So it's like it's one thing to sit here and be happy that it's a year, but it takes work. It takes some real fucking digging, spiritual healing, inner child. I recommend getting recruiting a professional therapist to shake it all out. Like there's going to be stuff that surfaces that you didn't even know you were trying to hide from, didn't even know you're suppressing, and it's that's that's essentially where you need to want to be when you quit. Is you want to do that work. You want to face yourself. You want to you're motivated to feel better, to think better, to to be to be better. Honestly, like I was selling myself so short. So and I don't want to half-ass my life. You only get one life, right? Every day is supposed to count. Every moment is supposed to count. So that was my motivation, and improvements like just seeing things better, just seeing my journey, healing all the things that needed healed. You need to feel it to heal it. So just bring it in, welcome it all as part of the journey, and just embrace it. Honestly, it's not easy, but it's worth it, and that's basically all I can say about personal growth. Like I'm pursuing more pursuing more personal goals than I ever have. And like this year, probably mentioned it in my previous videos, I changed jobs a couple times to get my salary that I wanted. I moved to a new apartment. What else did I do? Oh my god. Well, quit THC. Um, anyways, I trained for it and ran a 200-mile event. Um, but yeah, no, you need to really embrace the change. You need to lean into being uncomfortable, and then it becomes kind of not easy. I won't say it's easy at all, but you get to see these micro improvements throughout the time. Um, Overcoming temptations, how I dealt with cravings and temptations, importance of support system and coping mechanisms. Now this is tricky. Where I live now, I can always smell weed somewhere. You can always. I'm like, I'm like a fucking basset hound. If it's around, I'm going to know about it. I'm going to smell it. I'm going to see it. I'm going to find out who's smoking it, and I'm going to romanticize about it. I'm going to and it's not me that's doing it. It's my habits. It's the conditioned behavior. I smoked it for like what, off and on for 2 decades. So for it to only be 1 year is I need to be patient with these idealizing thoughts about it. And I did have one slip up in that year. I did have one slip up where I took 2 or 3 puffs of a joint, and I will not fucking joke with you. The sky felt like it was falling, and I felt like such fucking shit. I felt like such a failure. I felt so guilty. I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror. And I just remembered why I wanted to stop in the first place. It was fucking terrible. So I threw the rest of the joint in the sewer. I was done with it. I reminded myself. And what caused that trigger was just being alone with myself. Honestly, I think I was in a fight with my mom and my girlfriend at the time. I was just not in a good mind frame. I could smell it everywhere I go. It's going to be around. It's legal. People are going to smoke it for their own reasons. That's their own journey. Just detach from that and recognize that you are on your own path. And yeah, honestly, that's about it. You are on your own path and people are on theirs. So if they can smoke it without consequence, then power to them. For me, that slip up woke me up, and that was about 4 months ago, 3 or 4 months ago now. And like you can still romanticize about it, but then I'm reminded of that fucking one night, and I'm just like, no, that's not even worth it. Not even worth it at all. Like not even a little bit. Importance of support systems. Yeah, I've been going to AA meetings. I'm sure they have Narcotics Anonymous meetings everywhere, but just embracing the power within, connecting with people that are in the same kind of boat, that are trying to better themselves, facing down this addiction monster, and really just trying to live their life the best they can and live a rewarding life and be there for people they love, and not live a half-assed life is basically it. Coping mechanisms, like I said, it's just you're going to naturally fill in the voids that you've been using to smoke weed, or there's so much time that it kind of catches you off guard how much time you spend thinking about smoking or actually smoking. So to fill those voids with healthy habits, healthy hobbies, I'm still working at it myself to fill those voids, to be comfortable, relaxing, to be comfortable with the silence, and just happy just to be. Sounds simple. It sounds simple, but every second was filled with either rolling or thinking or doing just one thing that didn't serve you any purpose other than to just hide Once that's gone, it's like a spring that kind of slowly decompresses, and you'll find out stuff about yourself that you'd never really considered before. But that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to. It's like a flower blooming, not a spring decompressing. It's like a flower blooming. So at first, the seedling coming out of its casing looks like chaos. It's chaotic. It's vulnerable. Um, it's weak. It's searching for light. And then once it breaks the surface, it gets stronger and stronger and grows and becomes more colorful, and then it blooms, and the world can enjoy it. So that's a really good analogy. I can't believe I just brought that into this, but yeah, I think that covers overcoming temptations. And don't beat yourself up if you do slip. Just remember, just go back to your list. I refer to my list a lot. Well, not so much lately, but I did. I still know exactly where it is. So keep it handy. Keep it handy. Keep it safe. Refer to it often. And I still watch my old videos of my 4 weeks of quitting. I still watch them. I watched them earlier today, just to get back in the mind frame of why this, not why I quit, but like where I was at day 1 through day 8. Like it's humbling stuff, and it's I like a lot can change in a year. Like I can't believe it's only been a year. All the stuff that happened, um, the things I faced and healed and grew through, and I it's just incredible, and that leads me into health benefits, um, physical benefits. I can breathe. I'm not inhaling smoke, and I might refer to a study that says smoking a joint is about as bad as smoking 10 cigarettes. The unfiltered smoke and all the shit that's inside of these things is not doing you any good. For all the good mental, you gotta be careful here with my words. For all the good you believe smoking cannabis does mentally, it's doing harm physically. It can still cause cancer. It can still cause all these complications. So just kind of be cognizant of the physical harm that inhaling any smoke is going to do. Um, Other benefits: I sleep better. I sleep more soundly. I sleep all night. I have more energy. And health benefits: I got to mention financial health. Like an ounce a week, that's not cheap unless you're growing it, which is also not cheap. But I have more money. I have more energy. I sleep better. I clarity of thought, clarity of emotion. I'm able to work through things rather than just kind of resist and hide and push things away. I welcome it. I feel it. It's the ultimate human experience. Like I'm welcoming all these negative emotions, but there's no such thing as a negative emotion. What makes it negative is our perception of these emotions and our resistance to them. But if you welcome them in, feel them, and you start to feel human. You start to feel like this powerful human, that's complete. So those are the health benefits. And I touched on improved relationships. Like you're just more clear-headed. You're able to formulate thoughts better. You're able to feel the feels more more truly, I guess would be a good way to say it. And everybody around you is going to notice a big difference. Just in your everyday demeanor, in your words, in your actions, in your goals, and your behavior, and your ability to just communicate what's going on. And like, I'm not perfect by any means. I don't want to portray that at all, but there is the awareness there for sure. So, I touched on the next point: pursuing new hobbies and interests. Yeah, filling the voids with new activities. I've already talked about that. But you're going to rediscover some hobbies and interests of yours that may have been dormant for a number of years. I'm pursuing my writing a lot more dedicated into um, writing, and I want to be an ultramarathon coach. Like there's just limitless possibilities for my hobbies and goals. Um, so just be open to new hobbies, but also be open to hobbies that you kind of passed over a little bit. You kind of they get lost in the haze after a while. So once you become more clear headed, you'd be like, oh yeah, I've always wanted to draw, or always wanted to be a pilot. I always wanted to try this. I always wanted to, run a marathon or whatever your thing is. It's things come back up. Um, Improvement on mental health. I think if you watch all my videos before now of the quitting THC ones, you'll be able to see uh, a difference in how I communicate and how I speak. Probably, maybe a lot more stable, and the videos that I listened to or watched of mine before, they were tough. They're very humbling to hear my voice crack in certain spots and to tear up. It makes me tear up just even thinking about the stuff that I was facing at that time. Um, but yeah, there's been some therapy. There's been some deep work. Honestly, there's been deep fucking work. There's been nights I cried. There've been nights I just didn't think it was worth it. There's been nights I didn't know if I could do it. Um, but you push through, like one day at a time, one step at a time. Lean on your coping mechanisms and the lessons from therapy. That's why I recommended a professional therapist, whether it be a psychologist or whatever. But just be open to the possibility that it could help. And your support network, you don't want to lean on people too much because people are humans. So, and humans being emotional creatures, that they might not always be able to support you in the ways that you get used to or that you need. So you need to be kind of self-sufficient in some, if not many, aspects. Um, and you learn these skills through therapy, through acknowledging the pain that you're hiding, and you don't even know that you're hiding it. But I mean, people are humans, so just be aware that they might not be able to support you in the way that you need because they're supporting themselves through a hard time or tough week or tough month, or like there's any number of reasons somebody could not be in the mind frame of um, being there as they even they would like. So just be cautious on support networks and realize that nobody's really going to come save you. Nobody is going to save you. Nobody signs up on a contract to say, I will take care of you. It's ultimately up to you to look after yourself, to sleep better, to want to do better, to feel better, to live better, live more lovingly, um, live more compassionately to yourself, and to accept yourself. And that's funny for me to say because it's something that I struggle with, honestly. So, and not struggle with, it's something that I'm learning to do. And to catch myself being negative like that is something I'm learning to do also. So, ta-da! Um, I think that about does it. I'm going to conclude this. The key takeaways: you need to have your why. Your why needs to be engraved in concrete and imprinted on your forehead. Keep that list with you. The list helps. Make a video or two or 20, 28 or whatever I made. and refer back to them, be honest, be open, be vulnerable, be the seedling that sprouts into a fucking oak tree, and take the world by storm. Honestly, if you're thinking about it, then I think that's God's way of telling you that there is more for you. And if you don't take advantage of that, if you don't grasp that, then there's not much good that's going to come from that resistance. So stop resisting, just go with it, embrace it, and live the ultimate human experience of feeling it, healing it, and just look within. Don't look without. Don't look externally for things that are going to come save you. It's everything you need is everything you have already. And with that, I mean, anybody, if I could do it, anybody could do it. Like I said, I tried to quit at least 20 times. And it wasn't until I could see what it was doing to me that I just wanted more. I wanted more for myself. And yeah, the positive impacts of being abstinent from THC, even alcohol too, they're just limitless. I feel still working on being positive, but I feel that I'm doing my life's work now. I'm finding my purpose. And like, it's only been 365 days, but wow, what a year. I'm excited about the next year or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 10. Like, like I said, like there's definitely a purpose for me. And I'm going to find it. I will not stop. I'll take one step at a time. If I fall, I'll dust myself off and get back up and keep going. Like, there's no stopping me. And that's what it takes. It takes that determination, commitment, and I won't call it discipline so much, but it's just a decision to be intent on living your fullest life. So, I think, honestly, I think I ran through this pretty quick, but it's almost a half hour, so thanks for watching. I don't know how many people this is going to reach or whatever, but I know my first series of videos, quitting, touched a lot of people, so hopefully this offers some insight, clarity, whatever you need. I hope this offers something for everybody that watches it. And share your stories with me. Share them below. I like comments. I reply to everyone, I'm pretty sure. So share your story below if you can relate. If you think I'm crazy, if you think I'm wacky, or even if you just like my beard, then comment below. I'll be happy to reply, and I'll provide some resources. There's what's Dr. Frank from Addiction Mindset. He's on YouTube. Watch some of his stuff. And he has a really good way of dispelling the magic of it all, so to speak. He's a good resource to use on quitting anything, on quitting tobacco, alcohol, or cannabis even. So check him out, Dr. Frank. Tell him I sent you. And he has his own practice. He's a certified addiction counselor. And yeah. That's it. Until next time, this is the Wayward Wizard. You see my sweater. I don't know if I showed that on here yet or not, but dragon back there, it's the dragon spirit within us all. So awaken your dragon, man. Let's go. We'll see you in the skies. I don't know where I'm going with that, but I think that about does it for me. This video is almost 30 minutes long, so I gotta stop it before it hits 30. Anyways, peace, love, and clarity as always.